It's going to be an adventurous day for us here on My Porch Barbecue. Check this out. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9 racks here. On the Texas Original, we've got 4 racks. But wait, it gets better. On the Lang, we've got 3 racks. And on the Drum, we've got 3 racks. And those look beautiful, by the way. Gorgeous. Look at that. That's gorgeous. I got to tell you what. This is probably the most ambitious cook I've done. I've never done 16 racks of ribs at the same time. But yeah, there's a lot. We got the Offset. We got the Lang. We've got the Drum. And we've got the Shirley. This is going to be a good day. It's only supposed to be like 100 degrees. But, you know, it's barbecue. Of course it's going to be 100 degrees. See, so we got a nice small one going on the Shirley. Doesn't take much. We're burning clean. Just a nice small fire. I'm cooking these ribs really low and slow. Again, small fire. I'm not doing a 500-gallon pit. Look. Let's see those ribs. Let's see. Actually, it is showing right at 200, so I need to knock it up just a little bit. But here's my challenge. I got 4 different cookers with different ribs on each one, and each one's cooking at a slightly different temp. So I'm trying to nurse them all along because I got to have them ready by 2 o'clock. So I can't cook them too fast. Clearly, one of my most ambitious cooks. I never show you guys my drum because people don't really care about an old drum. But man, I love this cooker. And look at that. Look. Seriously though. Look at that. Those probably look the best out of them all. And there's something about charcoal. That fat drips down on those charcoals and then comes back up. I'm telling you. It's as close as you can get to set it and forget it and still get real barbecue taste. But yeah, look. That's pretty dang cool. I always have a separate burn going on. That way I can add these charcoals, this lump, to a firebox if I need to. So you can see like I got some in the corner. But that way it just keeps my heat nice and even. Let's take a look at these ribs. Alright. We got some color. Maybe a lot of color. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Tell you what, cooking 18 racks time was a little more daunting than I thought. And you can see, look, I've basically got 4. These are St. Louis cut. So 4 comfortably, then another 4 there, then 1 up there. I could have put 2 up there, but I'm a little nervous about the top shelf. But I didn't need to be. I mean, it's cooking. I got this thing cooking really low. And you can see right now it's right around 200, and that's because I'm in a hold pattern because I'm ahead of schedule. Texas Original. You see we're right at 250 there. Those are looking good. Look at our Lang. Probably need to spritz these a little bit. These are looking good. Now, I could have probably got 1 or 2 more here, but I didn't want it cooking too much over the firebox. But you will notice that I'm doing the bottom grates on top of the top. I like that extra inch of height. That just kind of lifts it just a little bit. I think that's the perfect kind of spacing for me and the way I like to cook with it. So an easy fix for those of you that don't use your top rack, you just slide it under, put your bottoms on top, Now you got kind of an elevated platform, but you know, it's stable. It's stable. It's not going to go anywhere. So. And then last but not least, we got some beautiful ribs. You can see already that pullback. I'm telling you, I'm so far ahead of schedule. I'm going to have to like let these rest as I wrap.
How do you know when they're ready to wrap?
They're about ready to wrap. You can tell by the bone pullback.
You have jars for yeah, you don't have to pack it into. We're also doing Berlin peach. Let me get that. Okay, rib. Oh yeah. But I was trying to do it. I made the wrap.
Ooh.
Oh wow. Oh my gosh, you could just drink it. That smells so good.
You just want it
Just put it right there. We're going to stack up. Trev, put yours right there.
same thing for all of them?
Yep.
Okay. Now we're going to wrap around and make a little raft for it.
Oh, for the sauce to tack up on the top.
All right, and then Jessica, you and I are going to slap. So we're going to give them to us. Now you're not, don't go gentle. Just get some and go.
That slather footage, girl. That looks good. Never again in July.
Alright YouTube, let's debrief the cook. This was by far the hardest cook I had ever done. And personally that was surprising because in my mind ribs were not that complicated. But the challenges that I ran into, oh, they just stacked one on top of the other. First, I didn't have as much space as I thought I would. I had planned to use one of those rib racks in the Lang to hold about 6 different ribs. Now, once I had the ribs in the rib rack, I immediately had doubts if they would get enough smoke and heat. They were all stacked up against each other. I just didn't think it was going to work. So that meant I had to fire up the offset, which I had to bring up to temp, which took about 30 to 40 minutes. I then switched the ribs to the offset, so I'm moving ribs back and forth. But now I had 3 stick burners on opposite ends of the patio. Fire management got a lot more difficult. I was constantly on a rotation, moving from one firebox to the other. Oh my goodness, the wrap. I had 5 people to help prep the ribs. And for the wrap, I was down to 3 with my daughter on the camera. It took so much longer to wrap the ribs than I expected. And during that time, all my fires had burned down. So I went into the wrap well ahead of schedule, which you hear me talking about at the beginning of the video when I say, oh, I'm in a hold pattern. But I come out of the wrap about an hour later, and I had to bring the smokers back up to temp. So now I'm under the gun. I'm behind schedule, and I got people coming at 2. The same thing with the boating and the saucing. The process took so much longer than it had in prior cooks. It just doesn't take that much time to do 2 or 3 racks. So it doesn't really translate. But you get 19 racks, and it was a whole different ball game. The heat. It was 100 degrees outside, and I spent all of it in front of a fire. And this was my first and last smoke of any size on the 4th of July. By the time I got the ribs inside, I was ready to pass out. In fact, I cut the ribs, and then I left and laid down for 15 minutes. That's the whole reason why you don't see any of the ribs being cut. So, after all that, how did they turn out? I'd say mixed. The ones that were in the foil on the bottom of the smoker racks did so much better than the ones I'd stacked on top. So, there you have it. And if you've watched this video all the way to the end, thank you so much. Please put in the comments the most ribs you've ever seen cooked at one time. I'd be interested to know if any of you've done more than 19. And if so, what tips do you have for anybody else that's thinking about doing a cook that big? And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It helps me out, and I do appreciate it.